How's it going, everybody? Marvel Cross 316 back with another amazing Spider-Man flashback. We are looking at issue number 22, which came out in March of 1965. And one thing I want to just say before we get started is if you have gotten this far into this series, then I want to thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, just for my subscribers who have been watching these videos and have been commenting, liking these videos. I really do appreciate it. I enjoy reviewing these issues for y'all. Spider-Man is by far my favorite superhero. And with that said, let's go ahead and get started. So today we're going to look at the reappearance of the Circus of Crime. That's with the Clown. We have the Great Gumbonos, the Cannonball, Princess Python, and the Ringmaster. They're all going to take on Spider-Man in this issue. But this time, Spider-Man is not going to get the help of Daredevil. He's going to have to take on all of these guys on his own. Can he do it on his own? That's one thing we'll find out in this issue. So before we get started, go ahead and give this video a big old like and share with your friends and family. And let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so this issue is drawn by Steve Ditko, written by Stan Lee, and lettering by Artie Simek. So pretty much the lineup here with the artist and the writer and the lettering page stays pretty much the same. Sometimes it's Sam Rosen, but once again, Stan Lee, Steve Ditko, pushing out some great stories for its time. So we start out the issue here with Spider-Man. He shines his Spider-Man beacon right on top of the Ringmaster and his Circus of Crime. And these people have served their prison sentence since issue number 16. That's the last time we have seen them. That's when Spider-Man and Daredevil teamed up. And so we see that the Ringmaster, he tells Spider-Man that he's not looking for any trouble, that he's pretty much done with crime. But we all know that the Ringmaster has something up his sleeve. Spider-Man knows this, so he places a spider tracer underneath or right on top of the Ringmaster's fedora. So that is how he's going to keep track of the Ringmaster. So he gives back the hat. Spider-Man gives back his hat, and Spider-Man goes off knowing confidently that he can track down the Circus of Crime whenever he wants to, especially the guy in the purple hat, the Ringmaster. So the Ringmaster here, he's saying that he wants to go ahead and continue to do what they used to do in the past, which they would just go to circuses and they would, they would steal from people as he used his hat. The hat would hypnotize the crowds. But all the other people are pretty much fed up with the ringleader. The ringleader here, they're tired of him, and they want to pretty much do away with him. They want him to just go away, and they want a new leader. So that's what they're going to do right here. Princess Python is going to serve as one of the leaders in the group, but we learn right off the bat that she places the Clown. The Clown is going to be the leader of this group, and they just kick out the original leader. So goodbye to the Ringmaster here. He's gone. And they fight him off just to communicate that they're done with him. So I mean, you're being kicked out of a group like that, that's going to hurt. It's going to hurt pretty bad. I mean, he was the leader of this group for so long, but now, the tables have turned. They don't trust him anymore, and I wouldn't either if I was a part of that group, because he's the one that made them go to prison in the first place. He was the one that led them. So then we see a little bit of Peter Parker being in school. We haven't seen that in a while, quite some time, where Peter Parker's just doing school. Liz Allen here invites Peter Parker to walk with her to her home, but Spider-Man, Peter Parker here, he does not want to do that because of what happened last issue. If you paid attention last issue, Betty Brant and Peter Parker are not on the same page as they used to be. They're on rocky terms once again because of what happened last issue with Johnny Storm's girlfriend, Doris. Peter Parker was seen with Doris or heard about being with Doris, and Betty Brant found out about that. But Peter Parker and Betty Brant make up, and on top of that, he calls Betty Brant the nicest, most prettiest, wonderful gal he's ever known. So that should cheer up any girl if they hear that. So Peter Parker walks her to her house, and she also, actually, they're not going to her house, they're going to go to the art gallery. Peter Parker wanted to, go out for dinner, but Betty Brant here says, no, I have to go take notes at this art exhibit, and would you like to come with me? So Peter Parker tags along to this art exhibit, and we see Jolly J. Jonah Jameson here, and he's all putting up a big show here to these women, like he's responsible for all these paintings, choosing the paintings. But we also see the Circus of Crime here, and they're led now by the clown, and the clown and the rest of the group are planning on stealing these very expensive paintings. That's their goal. And so the clown comes into the scene, and he's going to use his own persona to try to distract the audience while the rest of the crew is robbing the actual exhibit. So Peter Parker catches on real quick that something is up. He knows exactly who this guy is because he had just stopped by and warned them at the beginning of the issue. So, but he can't turn to Spider-Man right now. He has to protect Betty Brant and the rest of the people. We also see an altercation between J. Jonah Jameson and Cannonball here, and Cannonball headbutts J. Jonah Jameson, knocking J. Jonah Jameson out, and the rest of the crew escape before the police can show up. And J. Jonah Jameson has a concussion and is going to have to go to the hospital. And so Peter Parker, after witnessing this, and Betty Brant as well, she's worried about her own boss. And even though he's had his faults, that's what she says, he isn't really a bad guy. And so she's pretty upset. Peter Parker brings her home, and by the time, 10 seconds later to be exact, he changes to Spider-Man. And so he's going to go track down the ringmaster. He's going to go track down the ringmaster and see what's up, because he just saw all of his buddies rob that art exhibit. So as Spider-Man is tracking down the ringmaster, he notices right off the bat that the ringmaster is at this police station, and the ringmaster looks like he's telling the police that he's through with crime and that he was not mixed up with that robbery. So Spider-Man's pretty confused here. He doesn't know that the rest of the crew dumped the ringmaster. They kicked him out of the group. So that's going to play into the story here, but we've come to find out that the ringmaster here is going to try to get payback on the clown and the rest of the crew. He's going to try to steal the paintings right from under them. He's going to collect the money for the paintings and then turn in the rest of the group. So talk about some revenge. Spider-Man comes on the scene though, hypnotizes the ringmaster, and gets the information that he needs to locate the clown and the rest of the group. So the ringmaster says that he should be where all the equipment is on the West 22nd Street. So Spider-Man gets what he needs, and the ringmaster is left in a daze as his hat is hung up by a strand of webbing. And as you know, Spider-Man's webbing does not dissolve until an hour is up. So if you look at the timing here, the ringmaster is going to be hypnotized for 1 hour. And this is where all the action is going to take place right here, where Spider-Man is going to be fighting pretty much the rest of the crew for 1 hour. 1 hour fight here. Can Spider-Man take on all these guys? That's the biggie. Can he do it? So we see right here just some awesome artwork right here from Steve Ditko. He had just a great way of having the word balloons pop and then the action with the whoop, and so you have the Great Go Bonos here throwing a, looks like a weight ball, exercise ball here. The clown is trying to trip over Spider-Man. We've got Cannonball trying to bulldoze Spider-Man. So some awesome stuff here. Great acrobatics. All these people, they're fit to be in a circus, but again, they are criminals, and they do not want Spider-Man to bring them back to prison. They're going to do their best effort to fight off Spider-Man so that they can keep the loot of what they stole. And we also see a little bit of Princess Python, and I don't remember Princess Python making an appearance in Amazing Spider-Man 16. She may have been there and maybe not, but she tries to use her gender. Since she's a woman, she's going to try to kind of almost in a way seduce Spider-Man by her own beauty, and she, as Steve Ditko drew her, he drew her pretty beautiful here. She's a beautiful lady if you ever had to see her in real life, but she tries to persuade Spider-Man to join forces with her. And we also see that Spider-Man's webbing eventually dissolves, and the hat of the Ringmaster falls to the ground, so the Ringmaster is out of his hypnotion here. Betty Brant, she's at the hospital here checking up on J. Jonah Jameson. She's wondering, where the heck is Peter Parker at? Well, Peter Parker is a little busy right now, Betty Brant, to be honest with you. I mean, he's fighting off 6 other people right now. But, of course, she doesn't know that. So, once again, some great artwork here with all that's been going on with Spider-Man. You can see whap and thunk and cack and wish. You can actually hear those going through your head. So Princess Python here, she realizes that they are in big trouble because all these guys just can't take on one guy like that. They just can't. Spider-Man tracks her down, and she's like, "You won't arrest me." And Peter Parker, or Spider-Man, he does not want to fight a woman. That's just the gentleman thing about him. He doesn't want to punch her. Here's how she's trying to seduce him, and she gets her way. The clown finds out that Princess Python has turned on the group, so he's mad. So he's going to try to run away. And then the Ringmaster, he's going to come and try to go to that warehouse where everybody's at and turn the group in. Princess Python even tries to grab a hold of Spider-Man's mask and take it off, but Spider-Man uses his spider-like abilities to get away from the situation. But Princess Python gets her way and throws Spider-Man into this abandoned room. And what do you think is in this abandoned room? Well, it just so happens to be her snake. Her snake is in the room, folks. So this is not going to look good, but as the story continues, and I'll go ahead and finish it up here, Spider-Man ties up a knot with the snake and catches up with Princess Python and the rest of the group, and the police show up on the scene, and Spider-Man defeats the Ringmaster and his group, as the Ringmaster is shown to have the paintings. I'm sorry that you're not getting to see all of this because of my computer acting slow here, but that's how the story ends. And also, J. Jonah Jameson gets the pictures that he wants as Spider-Man takes pictures of the captured crime masters of the circus. And then at the very end, Peter Parker shows up to his Aunt May's house late, and so he gets a stern talk to, pretty much a come to Jesus moment there with Aunt May. I wish I could show them, here's what I was talking about, tying up the knot here, and then they're eventually captured. The photos shown to J. Jonah Jameson, like I said, and like I was saying, come to Jesus moment right here, right here. So, I'm sorry, I can explain. And she's like, no secrets, nothing. You can't keep nothing from me. So that's how we end issue number 22. Hope y'all enjoyed this review, and I will see you in the next review.